Welcome back to the Jimmy O Show once again here on a beautiful spring day in New Orleans. Tulane just wrapped up spring ball. We got a very special guest, one of the key players for the victorious white team here, Duece Watts, a native of Mississippi. Duece, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing
Great to have you here. Look, I'll say it for you, I'll say it for the fans at home. If you missed the last episode or some of our postings lately, we're now a 501c3 organization. Get those donations into the FTW Collective, and that gift will be tax exempt. You get to write it off on your next return. So no excuses now. Help out guys like my guy Duece here with those donations.
Need that.
All right. Well, Duece, welcome, man. I've told my other Mississippi guests, my wife is a Mississippi native. None of them know this. So she was there for the last week or so, up in the Meridian area.
Oh, no, Meridian.
A little bit further north, I guess.
Yeah, that's far from me. About 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, I see you're native of Petal.
Yeah, that was one of our rivals. I mean, Oak Grove was our main rival, but Meridian, it was real tough in high school, not going to lie.
Yeah, so Oak Grove was your main rival?
Yes.
Okay, I imagine there's some pretty, and in Hattiesburg, you're a little north of Hattiesburg, right?
Yeah, like 15 minutes.
Okay, and you got Laurel right there, and so Keon was from Laurel.
Yeah,
Keon
was,
Howard,
yeah.
Right? Yeah, we've had a few players now up and down that corridor. Starkville's not far off of 59. That's a little bit further north, though.
Yeah, further north.
That was Joey Claybrook.
Joey.
Yeah. So we've had some guys now, but yeah, no. So she was up there. She went even a little further than that. She went to Scuba and some other places, but she's home. She's always in a good mood when she gets back from Mississippi, man.
Mississippi hospitality. Everybody down there, nice.
That's what she always says. She comes back to New Orleans like, why was everybody so nice in Mississippi and I come back here and it's not the same.
That's how we all raised down there, though. Yes, sir. No, sir.
I was like, well, compared to the rest of the country, everybody talks about how hospitable we are in New Orleans. So, I guess it's a matter of degree.
Yeah, it is. It depends on who you meet.
Yeah. So Duece, let's talk a little bit about your childhood and everything growing up in that area in Petal, Eastern Mississippi, sort of central, I guess, between central and south. But we know one brother, Fat, our teammate here at Tulane. Did you have any other siblings?
Oh, yes, sir. I got 7 in all, and I got 4 stepbrothers. I got 4 sisters, my brother, my twin, and I got another little brother, 18. Okay,
where did you and Fat fall in terms of age?
In the middle. Right in the middle.
Okay.
I got 2 older sisters, and then it's me.
Okay. And the older sisters thought they were running the house, and then both you two showed up.
Well, at the same time.
Taking all the attention all at once.
Funny story. We didn't, like growing up, like my brother, his name Fat, right? Like he's a fat baby, not gonna lie. But like they didn't feed him like milk. Like my grandma fed him mashed potatoes and steak. So that's how he came up.
They were trying to make a linebacker out of
him. He was big. He was big. I'm not gonna lie.
So he was. Now you're the older, or
yes, sir, I am.
Okay,
like 8 minutes.
You were the little skinny older brother, and Fat was just kind of bouncing around.
Yes.
So what did they feed you?
I mean, I was on that too, but I mean, I love milk.
Yeah,
I could drink milk all day.
Yeah, so
not lie.
You got that honest all the way from the beginning.
Cereal, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Eat that all
What's
day.
the best cereal?
It's between Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good top call. 2 for sure.
That's a pretty good call.
Top 2.
I have a hard time arguing with those two. I hadn't had them in a long time, but as a kid, particularly in your age,
yes, need those.
Yeah, those are definitely great ones. Okay, so you told us how Fat got his name, right? Mm-hmm. So he was a fat baby.
Yes.
Okay, now he classes it up though because he's PHAT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did Duece come about?
Well, so I played Little League football, but Fat, he played before me. Honestly, I didn't play till 2 years after he started playing because I was smaller. I was a little scared. I'm not gonna lie, but I had when I was coming up, my mom, she called me Torian, my name, my real name was Torian, but she called me Torian, and I had a cousin, his name was Torin. It just take an I out, his name was Torin, but I had a coach, and my football number was 2, and he was like, y'all names too close together. He's like, we gotta do something. Mm-hmm. So he just he looked at me, he was like, Duece.
Yeah.
And it just stuck
That's
the rest of my life.
League football?
What? Yes. When I was like 7, 8.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it just stuck with me forever.
Yeah. Now, I think you were also a baseball player.
Oh, loved it.
That was. I heard that somewhere. That was actually your main sport for a while, huh?
Yeah. If you see my trophy case, all you're gonna see baseball.
Now, what positions did you play in baseball?
First base, shortstop, and center field.
Okay.
That's my main positions.
Now you're young enough. This is a travel ball age. You were doing all that kind of stuff, or was it more just?
I mean, yeah, kind of, sort of. I wasn't really traveling too far. I really stayed local. I mean, unless I was on an all-star team, then, you know, we traveled. But I really used to stay local.
Yeah. Okay. That's how I liked it. Now, it's got a little different now. My son's he's at Carrollton out on the fly.
Right.
You know, and so there's a big league there, and then he on the weekends we go. Okay, it's not too far. We go to Hammond.
That's
although we got a few places that go this year that are a little bit more expensive, but you know, it's fun, man. I can't get enough of it. Like
the traveling.
Well, just the baseball, because for me growing up, I grew out of baseball sort of.
Right.
And like I got once I was like 6'5", 275. I mean, my sophomore year, I led the JV for my high school in batting average and RBIs, but it's not like I was hitting 20 home runs.
Right.
When you were as slow as I was,
you
better be
to,
hitting 20 home runs. You know, otherwise you got to find another sport. So they told me at one point, I was like, look, man, you're getting recruited for football. You played, I was a starter in basketball. You got to quit something. So baseball was the one I gave up, but it was always my favorite sport.
Oh, so you played basketball too?
Yeah. I mean, I was at a small high school in La Platte. I went to Mandel Eugene's high school, St. Charles Catholic in La Platte. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think any of the other comments were. I think they were all gone. Who was the last one before Lezedrick? But I think he was done before you were.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But like me, I was kind of a country guy. You're a country guy. You get to play all the sports, right?
I played basketball too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And at Richton. I went to 1A before I went to Petal.
Okay.
So yeah, I played at Richton. I got MVP that year in basketball.
As a freshman?
Sophomore.
Okay.
Sophomore.
All right, and you need a bigger challenge to move up to Petal, huh?
Yes.
Okay, because Richton's actually your town.
Yes, that's my town.
Okay. And how far is that from Petal?
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Most.
And then all this whole time, what was Fat doing? Was he strictly football? Was he playing everything?
Same. We played same sports together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I got what they call Irish twins. My middle two are 15 months apart. So that makes all the difference, though, because what your parents had the advantage of is that y'all are always on the same team.
Always.
See, mine, one year they're on the same team, the next year they're different. So it's like
doing a lot of traveling back and forth.
Yeah, adding a sport,
Yeah.
All right, man. So when did you kind of figure out, Duece, that football was the future as opposed to basketball or baseball or anything else?
Actually, my sophomore year after basketball season. My dad, he talked to him. He was talking about he mentioned something to us about transferring to Petal because he thinks it's a better opportunity, and they wanted us to come play over there too. And we didn't. Honestly, me and my brother, we didn't want to go, because we was in Richmond my whole life. Ever since I was born in Chicago and I moved to Richmond, I was a baby, so I had been there my whole life. But I had talked to the coaches at Petal, and they was telling me how these players going this place, it's a 6A, it's a powerhouse. Petal, Petal was a powerhouse. So I was just thinking I really could change my life around, change my life with this. I just take this serious. I just start working out, just take football serious. Cause I get more excitement out of football than I do basketball and baseball, even though I did love baseball a lot. But football, it really just stuck with me. It was just natural. It just came natural. Even though I didn't like it when I was younger.
Yeah, well,
it became natural.
Before you put some of the size on.
Yeah, because I was smaller than everybody too. With my ninth grade year, I had a growth spurt. I had got up to 6'2", but I was 145.
Yeah.
So
okay, so you still at that because you're about 200 now.
What? Yeah, yeah. So
you gained some good weight.
So my freshman year, and I had played. I started corner, but I was at a 1A. I had started corner with but I didn't like tackling. I'm not gonna lie, I hated tackling. And then I was kind of getting bullied that first year, but I hated it. After that, my summer, I didn't play basketball. My first year, I was I got to put some weight on. So that's when my coach, he introduced me to protein. That's when I started taking protein, and then I put on like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I came back next season about 165. I was faster than everybody. I wasn't bigger, but I was just faster and taller. And turned to my sophomore year. And yeah,
had a pretty good summer. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not for the team. I ain't gonna lie. I think we won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But
you were scoring. You were getting. Starting to get some attention.
Yeah, I mean, my brother. Yeah.
And you know, and so was one of you a quarterback, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was the quarterback.
He was quarterback.
And that was at Petal as well?
No, sir. He transferred. He changed the receiver.
Okay.
Junior year, then senior year he went to running back.
Got it. Okay. And so, but look at, and in fact, you could see some of that running back in him with some of the wing T stuff we do. You know, he'll get the handoff.
Yes.
He's got that natural sort of run after the catch.
Yeah, he's natural with it.
You're the high point. You know,
deep threat.
You that guy, and Fat's more the run after the catch guy. Y'all actually have complementary skill sets, completely different.
Facts.
You know? But you know, looking back in that high school experience, I mean, that's interesting. You know, that was a hard thing, I guess, that your dad asked you to do in some ways because everything you knew was Richmond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All your friends, all your teachers. I mean, you were comfortable there.
I was.
You know, it's one of those things, though, looking back on it, do you feel like, you know, taking that chance and getting out of your comfort zone was crucial to your future?
I honestly, I feel like if I didn't make that decision, I wouldn't be here today. I think it was probably the best decision my dad ever made for us, to be honest. Yeah.
And so you know, you leave your comfort zone, you go into a situation, you're having to compete with better athletes in the school.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of two things can happen. You can kind of not succeed and you just fade into the background, or you overcome that competition, you stand out, and you get the attention that comes with that.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yeah, me and my brother, we knew that going in there, like, because at Richmond, we didn't work out, you know. It was just, we was out there playing. But then you go to 6A powerhouse who used to going, like, they went to the state championship game the year before we had got there. So, you know, the standards are already up here. So we get there and they like, they telling us like we need you guys, you know, to play. You know Stephon.
I was about to say, I know Stephon.
Yeah, he was already there. Then, you know, it was really just him. So he's like, we need you guys, like, step up. So we just that summer just worked out really hard. Learned how to because I really didn't realize how much I didn't know about football until I got there. Yeah, like all the plays, coverages, they teach you all that. But
Richard is probably more like, hey, dudes go run deep.
Like we had wristbands. It tell you like you got to fade, you got to slant or something. Like at Petal, it was plays, signals.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so what year was it? Because Stephon finished in 16, I think.
17.
He finished in 17.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I finished 18.
Okay, so y'all overlap for your first year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so Fat had some competition trying to run the ball with. Is that why he moved the receiver?
Stephon? Yeah. Steph wasn't nobody taking his spot.
No, Steph is. I'm gonna tell you, man. That COVID year, he was a guy who, was kind of like the third string guy, whatever, for a while, and then like that year, it clicked, and it was like, man, that guy's just a whole nother level of back now.
Yes.
I mean, and just his feel for the position, sort of his vision. It was all the little things that made him special. I mean, he had good speed and size and all that, but like it was really just his feel for the position I felt was better than a lot of guys around. And you could see it because there weren't always huge holes there, but he was able
to get through that.
He'd find a way.
He's so short, he'd get through all them holes. Yeah, he's a dog.
So he finished. I mean, these last year, he's going to be, trying to make an NFL roster next year. We hope the best for him.
Yes, of course.
So and now you progress your way. Petal, after coming out of Petal, you and Fat decided to go to Jones Community College. Take us through how that came about.
After Petal, we had got put out second round. Or the Fat, he had got injured, so he got injured in the first round. And then second round, we got put out. And I had got a few D1 offers. I got probably 6, 7, but it was small. Probably the biggest offer I had got was, I think, South Alabama. Sure. But it wasn't South Alabama now, But in fact, he didn't get any offers. But we had got he didn't get no D1 offers. But we had got all the JUCO offers. And we had already knew Coach Buck a little because he had coached at Petal before.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Oh yeah, Coach Buck. He had coached at Petal, and Yeah, he was recruiting us heavy, and he just told us be honest. He was like he think that our talent was better than the D1.
Then that offense.
Yeah, and then we agreed, and he was like, we had talked to my dad. He was like, it's gonna be a grind, and we knew that going in, but I think it was a great decision for us.
Sure.
Great decision.
Yeah, and I mean, it gave you a chance to keep playing with your brother.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of natural when you're 8 minutes apart. You tend to be the person you're closest to in the world, right?
whole life.
Yeah, so, you got to come together, and it works out because you get the package deal.
Yeah.
You both come out of Jones. Had a good run at Jones, in playoffs and all that other stuff.
Yeah, we should have won.
Had Nick, right?
Yeah, our first year, we went to state, played against Mississippi.
Yeah,
should have won.
And Nick was on that team, right?
Yeah, he was. He was on the first.
Yeah, he told us about that. And then like him, you got the opportunity to come on to Tulane from Jones. Yeah. Mississippi JUCO football is legit, man. I don't think people realize
they don't. That's why I be trying to tell them boys in the locker room. Y'all don't realize how much talent in JUCO. Like, cause really JUCO just a bunch of guys, mainly D1 bounce back and guys that should have went D1, but like grades or got in trouble or something. Mm-hmm. But it's so much talent in Mississippi JUCO. It's crazy.
Well, they don't have as many of the FCS programs and everything we have here.
Oh yeah, no.
But they got just a powerhouse JUCO.
Yes.
I mean, but it's big time stuff. Like East Mississippi. People know the TV show and all that.
Yeah, that's right.
But my wife's cousin, who they went to visit, older guy, he could go to state to tailgate and do the whole thing or whatever. But they're not far from Tuscaloosa. But they choose their Saturdays, that their preferred sort of rooting thing is East Mississippi.
Right.
They go to those games. They they royalty there.
I know this JUCO football is. I mean, a lot of people don't know nothing about it, but like if you sit and watch it, and see what's going on, and going to the games, the crowds they really into it. Mm-hmm. It's just a bunch of people out there trying to make it to D1, so everybody out there playing hard as they can,
right?
Or doing hard as they can. So yeah, a lot of talent,
Yeah, and so y'all do exactly what you set out to do. Look, so 2 decisions you made with your dad and your brother, y'all made together. You take the chance, you move up to a higher level in high school. It paid off. And then you go to Jones and didn't go to South Allen, some of those places. It paid off again.
Yes, sir. It did.
And so coming out of JUCO, I know we came after you hard. We had the need for receiver. You stepped right in. Mm-hmm. But what were some of the other teams that were coming after you hard and recruiting coming out of Jones?
I got a couple offers. I had got Colorado State, South. I had got all the main FCS. I was talking to Louisville, Ole Miss, and West Virginia, but they wanted me to wait. They didn't want, how you could sign December or summer. They wanted me to wait till the summer because they was waiting. I think they had they have another guy that they already had on their board before me, so they want me to wait till the summer. But I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, and you don't know if that's going to still.
Yeah, I didn't know that was going to stick. You feel me? So yeah, I just chose Tulane because that was actually the best offer for me. In fact, they had Tulane offer both of us.
Yeah, right.
There was a few schools that offered me and him.
Yeah, Colorado State. The football should be better than it is because they got a lot of facilities on. But that's a pretty nice campus, huh?
Crazy campus.
Yeah, Colorado's just a cool place in general. Fort Collins, but they got all brand new everything down there.
Yeah, they do. Nice campus.
I'm sure they turned your head a little bit, but we're glad to have you here, man.
I'm glad to be here.
So let's get into it, man. You kind of at Tulane, kind of in position of need. You come in, you're the really, we hadn't had a lot of the, I'll call it big body X type of receiver.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin going all the way forward, but the single, one-on-one guy outside, you're gonna win the jump ball and on the fade, right. You're gonna run the hard comeback and all that. Productive year. That was the COVID year, right? Was your first year?
Yes, sir.
But as a sort of a run-based offense, so it was more high average reception, not high volume of receptions.
Right, of course, right. Yeah.
But several touchdowns, and then I'm sure looking forward to next year, you're like, oh man, this is about to take off. We got We got Pratt for his second year, and then we got this Notre Dame guy calling the plays with all these crazy plays. And like you just expected last year was going to be,
Of course, the year.
You were 1,000 yards, the whole deal, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking coming in.
And then nagging injury here, nagging injury there, banged up quarterback, tough schedule. How'd you handle it?
Mentally, it was honestly it was tough. It was really tough for the whole team because before the season started, the hurricane hit. We was in Birmingham for 2 months, almost 2 months. So we was out there practicing the whole time. And then you get facing injuries. Like I didn't participate in spring. I barely played fall camp, but I mean the injury was nagging the whole time. And then Pratt wasn't 100% last year. I wasn't. Really, a lot of guys wasn't. But yeah, handling. We just all took it to chin. We was like, we still got to play. We still got to go out and play our hardest. Cause a lot of them games last year we should have won. Everybody know that we should have won, and we wasn't losing by a lot. It wasn't like we just out there getting blew out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was just a lot mentally. Everybody was facing last year, but this year it's gonna be a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Fritz made a lot of changes. Coach Fritz, he made a lot of changes around the program. Just like we done lit another fire on the whole team. Spring was great. New staff was great, so should be expecting a lot this year.
Yeah, well, we certainly are. And I know we had a lot of staff turnover. What are some of the other changes that sort of came out of last year as we look going into next year?
Like staff-wise?
Well, I know the staff changes, but like just in terms of, you said the programs changed. I know we got a new strength program as well.
Yes, that's my dog. He great. Great. He knows what he's talking about.
Coach Hester.
Like injuries and stuff, like I can't name. I mean, I don't know if we had any injury this spring, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Like everybody, like we focus on like the stuff he focused on is like stuff we wasn't focusing on like my first 2 years here. But yeah, he getting us right.
Yeah. What sort of personal improvement you feeling? I mean, do you in terms of, is it flexibility, explosiveness, strength? What?
Really everything. Honestly, I gained about 5 more pounds, but I mean like flexibility wise, he focused like. Cause me, like I really had like tight hips my first 2 years. I was facing a lot of injuries, but he knew that. Like he knew that before he even met me. First time he seen me, he told me.
He can watch you move.
Well, he told me, he was like, I could tell why you have my injuries. Like your hips are way too tight. Like getting out your braces and that. He's like, you gotta loosen your hips up. So he'll work with me like after workouts or like during workouts, like hip mobility. And like during spring, I felt great. Yeah. Really great. I'm moving a lot different.
This is where I'm gonna nerd out a little bit. What was he doing for hip mobility wise?
Like we do band stretches. Like it really like KPIs. I mean, I can't really explain. I have to show you, but like it's a bunch of stretches he knew that I didn't know nothing about, and I felt
got Bradley's attention.
Well, I felt it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it was hurting, but I feel a whole lot better now though. So yeah.
Yeah, there's something I'm looking at with my son. I feel like he's got some limitations in terms of supporting his big frame and some of the rotational stuff. And so we're going to look into strengthening to give him better balance, better stability. And in your case, it's flexibility, but it's also you said you're just moving a lot more fluidly.
Doing way better, yes sir, way better. I really didn't know how much hip mobility played into it until I actually talked to him.
That's exciting with you, man, because one thing you definitely have shown through the 2 years is, you can high point it. Like,
of course.
If Pratt's got to make a throw on the pylon for a tough score, it could be double coverage, whatever. He could put a ball where only you can get it. And you had the ability, you got the strength, the jump, the height to come down and get that tough catch.
Yes, sir.
And so now you're adding a little more wiggle to it.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah. And I imagine you already had, you're talking about some of the limitations, but you still had great speed, straight line speed. But now you're talking about.
Yeah, like side lateral. Yes, it's a whole lot different now.
And that's why we're seeing the improvement.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that room, man, that receiver room, it's gone from a position that lacking depth, I think, to one where we actually got several ball players.
Crazy depth in the receiver room. Like, our first, second, third group could be starters anywhere. To be honest. But we got a lot of depth in receiver room. Probably gonna have a lot of targets though too this year.
Yeah,
got a lot of playmakers on the offense side, including running backs.
Running
back room crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I know it, man. That's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, that's what's crazy is that our first guest we had was Tajay. I mean, it was kind of close to season. He came up that huge game in Memphis. I love Tajay. He's a Louisiana guy.
Come on, boy.
In almost any other program, you know, that's somebody that's gonna be a 20 carry a game guy just because his talent level. But when you look at a room that's got Cam in it, you got Ashad Clayton now, you got Ivan in it. Yeah, you know, hopefully YG will be back, you know, at some point. I mean, you start looking at those names, and it's like, man, you might want Tajay to get it 20 times a game, but you got to.
It's hard.
There's miles to beat here.
It's hard, yeah. It's hard. I mean, but all them boys, you know, they going to get their opportunities, and whoever make the most of it, that's who going to get the rock the most. So.
You know how we get the ball to and then when the receiver group, obviously, but the way to get the ball, keep everybody happy?
Yes.
First down. First down.
Just keep it going.
More plays you run, right?
More balls you get.
Yeah, you avoid those 3 and outs, you're going to get the ball to everybody.
Of course.
And I look forward to avoiding all those 3 and outs.
Oh, me and you both. Gosh.
So, Coach McMenamin is your new position coach. How's that relationship?
Great. Coach Matt's my boy. Yeah. He actually did tell me talking noise about the Nets. Kyrie. I mean, I like Kyrie. I was telling him I think Kyrie is probably the most skilled point guard in the league.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. Well, more skilled than AI. Man, he was bothered by that a lot.
It bothered him?
AI
is his generation.
Yes. That's why I was telling him, though. I was like, I ain't never watched AI. I mean, like, I seen videos, but Kyrie, like, he got the ball as a string. You know, he got the ball on the string. What? Like,
he's got no dog in him.
Yeah, that's why I give AI. He ain't got dog like that.
Well, and that's exactly what you're saying. He's the most skilled. But earlier before the show, we were talking about point guard Chris Paul, right?
Yes.
Paul doesn't have the physical skill of Kyrie, but what Paul does in terms of how he sees the game, what he does with his teammates, I mean, it's just at a different level.
Yes, he make everybody around better.
That was a tough out for the Nets, man. That was not a good look. Contrasted to the way they went out of the playoffs. Contrasted to how this Pelican team is just all dog, man. I mean, they're just the toughest kid on the block.
Man.
Scrappy.
Really.
They identify so well with this city, man. It's awesome to have them.
Yes.
I'm ready for you guys to get that same rep around
Me
here.
too. We will.
Yeah,
we will.
I mean, just the love, the outpouring, it's crazy. I mean, Alvarado, right? You know, guy 2-way contract. Unknown guy, now 18,000 people chanting his name.
Right, just off a few plays. Social media.
Yeah, no, it's so cool, dude. I mean, it's just
great for him.
Yeah, it's just great. But it happened with the Saints after Katrina. I mean, the Saints were always beloved here, but there were a lot of blacked out games. You know, blacked out. You don't even know it because it never happened in your lifetime. But it used to be if you didn't sell out the stadium,
right.
The home team broadcast, it would be blacked out. You couldn't watch the game. It was part of the NFL contract. Right. That never happens anymore because the Saints sell out everything. But that wasn't always the case. They were a bad team that weren't always supported.
Right.
And then, after Katrina, that run in 2006, that just cemented, just the whole attitude. Peyton, Breeze, that deal, Steve Gleason, that whole deal, and then guys like Marcus Golson's a 7th-round pick. When we drafted him, it said tight end. That was the position that
he turned to the dog.
Franchise's great receiver, right?
Wow.
And of course, you had it Reggie. I mean,
7th round.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, same draft as Bush. Bush was the 2nd overall pick. Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie.
And I mean, he added so much credibility, excitement because he was the biggest star coming out of college football.
Right, of course.
He had all that swagger there, and then. But it was the unheralded guys as Marcus. I think John Stinchcombe was in that draft. And some of these guys were the building blocks for the early run. But that's getting off topic. I'm just setting that vision for you, though, because it's time for Tulane to make that identifying mark. Because when we went undefeated in '98, man. I mean, this was pre-internet. I mean, the internet was just starting, but like we were on college game day every week. We were front page of USA Today. And I mean, LSU was on the 3rd page of the sports section. We were front page.
Y'all swoop up on them.
Yeah. So I mean, look, there's. I tell you that because that's all out in front of you, right? That's something that's available to you and the guys to go grab.
Of course.
And I think you kind of see it coming through the spring. It's like, well, that might actually be something that's possible.
Yes, I believe it's very possible. Of course, with this new team we got now, it's a different mindset by everybody.
Yeah, so
mindset.
you know, in fact, that's one of our guests. I think it may have been Jaquan. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but somebody was like, I said, who's been standing out in the spring, and it might have been Pratt. And it's like, man, Duece is just taking it to another level this spring.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? What is it? Just better environment? Is it you feeling better about your body? A little bit of everything.
Really, a little bit of everything. I mean, mentally, it was last year. It whooped up on me. I'm not gonna lie, but came back. Me and Pratt, we talked. He really helped me out. Like, he got my head back on straight. He told me, it's my last ride. Like, you gotta do it all you can. To be the best you can be. I took it into account, thought about it through the summer. After the season, I was like, I'm finna do this. I'm finna get back right. I'm finna get my body right. I'm finna start working out at least 3 times a day. That's what me and him do. Me and him work out at least 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then Kurt Hester got me, like I said, hip mobility and all that. He got me right. And then the spring came, I just took off. Mm-hmm. Now looking back, I wasn't thinking too much. Wasn't worried about no injuries or nothing. I was just out there playing.
Yeah. Now you got that nutrition right as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A whole lot better.
I'm gonna ask you about your food in a little while because I know you got your favorites, but I mean on a day-to-day basis, you gotta. It's so key, right?
Yeah, of course.
Getting the right fuel in your body in order to perform at the level you want to perform.
Yes. So I was running and working out. We do gotta have the right nutrition. You gotta fuel your body, or you're gonna get injured.
Right.
That's happened to me. So.
Yeah. So. Offensively, what are some of? I mean, I take it you're still you're still that out wide guy, right? Outside the number receiver primarily.
In the boundary, yes, sir.
Yeah, boundary side, and then what is it a totally different route system for you, or is it a lot of the same things, just doing it a little bit?
I mean, yeah. I mean, actually, it's different. It's a lot different last year. I mean, I was limited to a few routes last year. It was mainly just D balls, D routes. But this year, I mean, of course, the fade ball gonna always be there. But I've been running a lot of routes toward the inside this year, trying to get the ball in the middle. I usually get more of my balls toward the sideline. But yeah, they add a lot to my route tree, and they had me play a lot little Z2. I was playing Z.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing going back and forth.
Now they got you moving a little bit.
Yeah, they got me moving around.
A little bit more.
Yeah, so they be moving around a lot this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's harder to lock you. I mean, if
exactly
with motion, right?
Exactly.
And so route tree wise, I mean, do we use the numerical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or is it a different terminology?
No, it's different terminology. Yeah. I mean, we still use that. That's gonna be for everyone, but the way we use it, we got our own names for the routes we run.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's the Peyton Manning style, man. Peyton had like a title name for all of his plays versus when I was playing, it was like you running a 989 Y cross or whatever, and that's really telling each player, each skill guy what they're doing,
right?
And then the protection would be 5, I don't remember 571 or whatever, 561. That would tell us what to do. Yeah, I mean, it's just cool. There's so many different ways to get there, all to try to do the same thing, and that's basically get the ball to playmakers in space to make plays.
Of course. Yeah, we spread the ball around a lot this spring. Mm-hmm. Everybody was touching the rock. So, yeah, you should see that this year, a lot of that this year.
And now how helpful has Shea been in this sort of deal? Because he had the familiarity with Coach Boda before.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows the system like the back of his hand. Mm-hmm. Before we even started spring, he knew everything.
Was he excited when he found out about Boda?
What? He was too happy. He was too happy. But nah, Shea, my boy, man, he had a great spring too. They got him playing on the other side of me. He got him playing Z. He played a little X too. But Shea, he helps me out a lot because you can't just focus on one person.
Yeah. Was he primarily a Z at Central Missouri, or was he a okay. So he's back in his old
his own he comfort zone.
Yeah. Nice. And then you got the terrors, the twin terrors at tight end as well. Can't leave them out when we're talking about receiving threats.
Tyreek
is extremely special, and Will, Will, I consider. I mean, he's got the ability to catch the ball and do all that other stuff, but like I consider him the sixth offensive lineman. Like, Will's run blocking is
crazy,
top notch.
And his catching this spring, he took it up another level.
Awesome,
he made some catches I never seen him make before.
Yeah,
so he turned the game up too.
Yeah, that's another Mississippi guy.
Yeah, that's my boy.
My law partner is they're from the same high school, Cathedral, and I think it's Cathedral in Natchez.
No, oh yeah,
I think it's Cathedral Catholic or something like that.
Oh, Natchez.
I might be getting the name wrong, but it's the big Catholic school in Natchez.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's where I met my wife, by the way.
That's wow.
Mississippi produces lots of good things.
Gotta love Mississippi, huh?
Yeah, man. So all right, let's off the field a little bit, man. What's health and wellness is your major?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what do you have left in terms of getting a college degree?
I got one more semester. I graduate in December, so yeah, I'm this close. This close. I'm ready.
But no more eligibility. See, you played it wrong, man. You got to follow my system.
What's your system?
When I went in, I had 19 hours left, and I could have knocked it all out in that fall, but that was football season. So I just took 12 full time to stay eligible, right? And I had 7 left, and so my spring semester, I rode that one out with CPR, modern dance, and one history class. I didn't have any tests.
That's smart.
So I had a lot of fun.
That was smart. That was smart. Might have to use that one. Now that I think about it.
Go see if you can move some miles around. That scholarships for a year, man. You good.
Got to use that.
Go down to 12 in the fall and leave everything else for the rest.
That's smart.
Enjoy it. Go spend some time on the fly. And, have a good time.
Relax.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're going to be getting ready for the draft, though. You're a little different. You're a little bit better football player than I was. I was getting ready to go to law school. I knew the NFL wasn't my future. So, all right. Well, look, man. The very most important topic on this show is always we like to talk about food. We like to, and generally it follows. Okay, tell me about. What it was. What was that Sunday meal or whatever, the favorite meal you had back home? Okay, we're going to start with that.
My grandma cooking. Fried chicken, collard greens, and cornbread.
Okay. Now
go-to meal every time when I go home.
That's a strong
That's a strong. And some yams.
Now you see that y'all don't cook any differently than my wife's people up north, just a little bit. Now, maybe I'm wrong though, but the cornbread, it was a black cast iron skillet that they would have the cornmeal in it. Actually, it was no wheat or anything. It was just like it would come out like kind of hard,
right,
and then cut up. But it wasn't like that Jiffy mix stuff. It was like just old
cornbread,
like legit
good
cornmeal,
sweet cornbread.
And then okay, so that's strong. Now, have you found anything that can compare to it at any of the restaurants around town here?
Ooh, I love seafood.
Yeah, okay. So here you got to focus on the seafood.
Yes, seafood. I love Louisiana Cajun seafood. I love it. I love it. I eat seafood all day. That's crab legs, crawfish, oysters. Eat all that.
Is any of the places been your favorite so far around town?
I can't remember this one restaurant they took us to. It was in the French Ward. They had some oysters. It was so good. Dang, I can't remember what the place was called.
Well,
I had to ask. I can't remember what it's called.
I know Tulane does stuff with mulots there, but it's not quite in the French Quarter. It's in the convention center area.
It might have been that.
But they got a lot of seafood.
A lot of seafood, and it was crazy. It was great. I'll go back.
Go back anytime. What? You like that bread pudding? Right?
Yes. Or like banana pudding. You ever had before?
Yeah, that's a Mississippi classic.
Or peach cobbler.
Now we talking.
You know what I'm saying? You need some of my grandma's.
You bring me, man.
I'm telling you, my grandma go crazy.
I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you next time I'm going up to visit my wife's family. Hey, your grandma's around.
All right, let me know. I got you for real.
It'd be better than stopping at the Cracker Barrel in Hattiesburg or wherever we go.
For real. I'd do anything good to cook that. I'll tell them. Because I'm for you.
That's right. Now, all right. How about Fat, man? Well, how's Fat looking this leading into next year? Is he healthy? Is he ready to go?
Him too. He turned up in spring. It was great for him. He came to a different role. He was playing H. He was starting H, but he played a little bit of X too. They got him playing a little bit of both, and then they got him playing little wing. Get the ball at the backfield motions. They got him really what he comfortable doing.
Yeah.
He was really comfortable this spring, and he looked different too.
He's not afraid he ain't afraid of that contact at all.
Oh no, you should see him blocking. His blocking is his best part.
Well, at the H, I mean that's great. If you can actually get a receiver out there blocking like a tight end, I mean, it was like the Robert Woods thing for the Rams, right?
Oh yeah,
and move him around, and then this guy's cracking down on linebackers and actually setting an edge.
Yes, that's how fat it is.
And I mean that their running game. And you look at how good the Rams' running game was before he was hurt till after.
Totally
it's
different.
A huge difference.
Huge difference.
I mean, they ran 25 times for about 50 yards in the Super Bowl. I mean, if they could have run at all, they'd run away with the game. But they couldn't establish anything on the ground, and they just had to pull it out late. But, but anyway, well, all right. I think that's about gonna do it for us, Duece.
All right, man.
How'd you enjoy your journey on the Jimmy O Show?
That was great. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you, man. And folks, once again, please look up our website, ftwcollective.com. Support the collective. Give many thanks. Oh, by the way, I wanted to share, we're starting to add our charitable partners. I want to shout out Blessed 26 organization. This is a group founded by my teammate, Kendall Francis, who's still local. He's a TV producer by day, but he does a program mentoring young men to help them continue in the path of excellence as they go forward, doing great work in our city. Blessed 26, you might be seeing something from Duece and some of the other guys about them soon. Shout out to you, Kendall, and many thanks to Roof Fitness and Stack Coaching for having us once again. Bradley, thank you for having us, and see y'all next time.